Okay, okay. What is up, everyone? It is your boy Nerdtaku, and I am getting in on this sweet chapter 1162. I am ready to rock and roll with this shit. I have been waiting for what feels like forever now, because of the fact that Oda was sick. Um, so the fact that we have Oda being not in good health is always not good, but now we have our chapter. So, if you are over on YouTube, you should probably be able to see right down here in the corner is the chapter with my logo imposed over it. So that way I don't get flagged. And if you're on TikTok, it should be right beneath me. Um, so let's without further ado, let's just jump into it because I am super excited for this chapter. Right. Chapter 1162, God Valley Battle Royale. Interesting, interesting. We got the cover story. Yo, what is going on, NYC? Um, and we gonna go live after. Yeah, I'm live over on TikTok right now. And so right after uh, I'm done doing this, I'll just go straight over to TikTok exclusively, and we'll go from there. So let's check it out. Okay, Only Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage Final Volume. Final volume. Final volume's kind of crazy. I didn't expect this. You're lagging bad. Damn. I was really hoping I wasn't going to be. It might be because I'm doing both things at the same time. Let me, you know what? I'm just gonna end the TikTok live and then I'm just gonna go strictly YouTube. So that way it's not lagging bad. Trying to see if it's should be better. Should be better now. So let me move this over here. Okay. Should be better now. Let me know if it's bad. Um So then 1162 God Valley Battle Royale, Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage Final Volume. Dear Luffy Dono, it's another peaceful day in Wano. Hmm, that's weird. You see Momonosuke, you see Kinemon looking at Ulti, like, what the F? But then, what's this, like, black thing behind Yamato? It seems like it's, I don't know, like, it's not good. Like there's something shadowy behind her, like she's carrying something or I don't know. Just seems weird, right? Hmm. I don't know. Well, at least that means Yamato's pilgrimage is done. So, Oda says there's all kinds of cured meats, duck, chicken, tuna. They're all so good. Good job, Oda. Um, okay. It says Rocks and Saint Garling are clashing in the northwest. Send backup. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I like this. This is good. And it says, no one's safe in God Valley. And there you see Rocks versus Garling. Hmm. On this coast, and then the Rocks pirates are coming up through the center, along with the Navy, and the Roger pirates are coming from the other end. It says there's treasure, but you want to go the other way. And it says we've got the Rocks crew behind us and the Navy to our front. Go on ahead, Rayleigh. I'll handle things here. It says my bad, Roger. And it says Rayleigh got Shocky back. Move Move the ship to the southwest. And it says, on it. It says, what? Man, I'm so jealous. And it says, damn it, me too. Beat Rayleigh and take Shacky. Oh, shit. Interesting. Interesting. And then Shiki's like, you can't, dumbasses. Shacky would get hurt. It says, focus on gathering treasure instead. Everything else is still up for grabs. And Whitebeard says, yeah. And you see Shacky's just so happy to be in Rayleigh's arms and says, Shacky, there's something I've got to tell you. It says, don't say another word I already know. Oh. And then it says, prize storeroom one. It's crazy out there. We couldn't have asked for a better opportunity. And Kuma's like, is this it? And Ivankov's like, yes, I don't know which is which, so just eat up. Damn, this is really cool. You see fucking Whitebeard and Ganzui as well as Shiki. Like, ah man, love Shiki, dude. I want to know who that is. If these are Roger pirates behind Rayleigh, like keeping him safe. It looks like the one has like big mace. I wonder if that's the torturer, and then there's like another guy with a sword. Also, where's Sommers, dude? He got beat so bad, he's just down. Oh, and here we go. Big Mom comes in, grabs Kaido's new fruit, and is like, "Phew, close one." And it says, "Eva-chan." And it says, "Hey, hand that one over too." And Kuma's like, "Kuma, don't think, just eat it. You have to eat it." And he eats it, and she's like, "Grr." And it says, "Save them. If we get a single person off the island alive, we can call this a victory." Damn, I love Ivankov, dude. This is so crazy that all these revolutionaries basically are tied to this one incident. Just kind of nuts. And then we see someone kicking Kyo, kicked him right in the face and says, this island's devolved into a pirate war zone. And then it says, should we pull back to try and capture them? Hmm. Yeah, dude, it looks like, is that Barbell or Sunbell that's fighting in the back? These must be Roger pirates because they're beating the Rocks pirates. And then one of the Marines like, "What are your orders?" And then you hear "Woo ha 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 whoosh." It says Marine Group location. It says, "Hey Sengoku, did you know about this crap?" Oh, what's up, Lonely Mage? Welcome to the chapter. It's so far a doozy. Is this where I get to see Garp actually fucking care about people? It's a so he's talking to Sengoku, and Sengoku says, "I think I recall someone alluding to it in a vague, rambling report once. The guy up and vanished from Navy life sometime afterwards." And Garp says, "This doesn't feel like a dream. They really did this." Then why'd you keep serving them? Again, like, dude, I can't help but fucking crash out on this because low key, Garp is one of the most agitating fucking people in the whole One Piece story. You mean to tell me this happened 39 or 38 fucking years ago, and yet somehow you want to get mad that the Celestial Dragons and the fucking Holy Knights did this, but you continue to serve under them? What the fuck are we talking about? Like, you see this, you're visibly pissed off, and yet you go on to claim the title of Hero Marines. Not really claim because you didn't want it. I get it. And you never take a promotion so that way you're not under their thumb, but you still stay. And you try and fucking get other people to join. Like, I don't fucking get it. Oh my God. It's the most frustrating thing ever because I want to love Garp so much as a character. I do. Truly, wholeheartedly. I want to love Garp as a character. But this motherfucker just continues to prove to me why he is trash. Because if you see this shit happening and you know this is a bad thing, and the fact that you're telling Sengoku about it, and you motherfucker stay, you don't choose to become Fleet Admiral Sengoku, and then you stay? Like, the world government low key has no power. Like, the only thing is, they don't even know Emu exists. Like, it's so crazy to me. Lonely Mage says, honestly, when you have to choose between anarchy and tyranny, most would choose tyranny because there's some stability. That's the whole fucking thing, though, right? Like, no, I get that. Because anarchy is just every man for himself, whatever. There's an established hierarchy in the Marines. And if you can't fucking choose to go against the world government, who is a separate fucking entity, right? Because you have the world government and you have the Marines. The world government tells the Marines what to do. But low key, the Marines could stop the world government and fucking abolish it by destroying Pangea and destroying the Celestial Dragons, and then they could rule through a council of kings how the way is supposed to fucking be, like the reverie, and then actually have less corruption. There's an established hierarchy that they could be using, and they don't fucking do it. They stay subservient. They stay the fucking celestial dragons lapdogs, especially because of the fact that just because 20 fucking kings got together 900 fucking years ago, all of a sudden they are just like, well, that's just how things have been. Like, that's bullshit. Like, truly and honestly, Sengoku and Garp are two of the strongest motherfuckers in the Marines. They are both one, either admiral level or fleet admiral level when they get to that hierarchy, and yet they stay, especially Kong too. Those are three people, one of which knows what's happening on this island, being Kong. Then you have Sengoku now and Garp. Those are three of the strongest motherfuckers that have the whole underneath the Marines that would listen to them. And you're telling me that they have no chance to just fucking rebel and destroy the world government and establish a different hierarchy that is not corrupt and hasn't been corrupted over the last 800 years. Like, it's bullshit. And the fact that Garp is fucking just stays, it's proof he's a dickhole character. Like, truly, to me, like, this is one of those times where I just look at Garp with such ire and hate because of the fact that he knows all this stuff is happening. And he, even if he didn't leave, right? Even if he didn't leave yet, when Dragon was holy shit. When Dragon was founding the freedom fighters, that should have been the first set thing, been like, yo, my kid is the next generation who's going to lead us into a place of revolution where we no longer have the world government. I should join him because I don't even fucking believe in what I'm fighting for anymore. And yet he chooses to stay. And in fact, he tries to teach other Marines. He taught Kuzan. He taught Kobe. He taught Helmeppo. You know, Eh, it's Garb reminds me of Suzaku from Code Geass. The what does that say? The native of wanting to reform from the corrupt system without doing anything to tear down the corruption. Yeah, 100%. But again, Suzaku knew what the fuck was happening and he realized that it was bad. And then finally, he made the right decision, even though it took a while. Garp's never made the right decision. He just hasn't. Like, it's such a bad fucking character, like, development for him because he's what we want. Like, we want Dragon to be this person. But Garp actually has the power to do it. We don't know if Dragon does. We assume it. But Garp literally could do it. He's the hero of the fucking Marines. If he were to rebel against the world government, you know almost every fucking Marine would because they know that he's the guy. And then on top of that, if you had Sengoku, if you had Kong, if you had Suru, like any of those fucking well known names, they could easily overthrow the government. Now, granted, again, they don't know Emu exists. They don't even need to beat Emu. If you take away everything that Emu has worked for to fucking keep slaves, to keep all this shit underneath Emu, you know, the world government, the CPs, all that stuff. If you tear all that away, you've broken the control that Emu has over people to a certain extent. Again, the Holy Knights, the Gorosei, and those people still exist, right? But it wouldn't take long to figure out how to defeat them or to have Luffy come along. Like, I don't know what Garp knows, so maybe he has some sort of insider information, whatever. But again, I don't see it, right? He's never shown us that he knows something, and he doesn't fucking want Luffy to be a pirate. He wanted him to be a Marine. Same with Ace, same with Sabo, same with everyone. He wants them to join under the hierarchy of bullshit instead of changing things. It just every time it blows my fucking mind that Garp is just this person. Yo, what is up, Trent? What is up? And it says it's said that I think Sakazuki will rebel first. He will burst and tear the Marines away from the world government, but for the wrong reasons. 100%. You want to know why? Because fucking Sakazuki, when he wants something, he does it. And that is not what Garp is doing right now. And it just really pisses me off because his character, everything about me or everything about him tells me that he is supposed to be that guy. And yet somehow he lets himself be subservient to the world government despite all he knows. And it blows my fucking mind. It really does. Because this, to me, is not a good representation for Garp's character. The fact that he knows this is happening, the fact that he knows that Sengoku knows it's happening, that Kong knows it's happening. And I'd imagine Suru knows, and I'd imagine a bunch of other people fucking know this happened. Like, why would you stay? Why? Mm. I hope that a captive by Blackbeard will fucking eventually make him open his eyes to be like, yeah, you know what? The world government sucks. We would not spin the block for Kobe. I had to take Sword, a bunch of people who basically have to write off that they're no longer Marines just to be able to act in a capacity that saves people. Fuck that. Crazy work. All right. Sorry. God. I'm just mind blown every time I see Garp doing this shit. But I'm gonna try and simmer down. I'm kind of waddling out. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let me sip some coffee. I think Garp knows it's flawed. I hope Kobe will be better than Garp. Kobe being sword is already a step in the right direction. 100%. Which again goes to show how much of a shit character Garp is. Because Kobe came in and was like, hey, I know this shit's kind of fucked up, so now I have to like basically publicly disavow that I'm no longer in the Marines just to be able to help actual people because Toby, unlike Garp, is willing to do that so that way he can help the most people. And that's what the Marines truly should be. Is some like is people who stick their neck out for regular ass people. You know, Toby wouldn't leave Pirate Island until he rescued almost every single fucking person on that island. Garp came for Kobe. Kobe wanted to save all those people, and it's the same reason he gave himself up to Blackbeard was to save the rest of his Marine men. Kobe is everything that Garp should fucking be without the notoriety. All right, rant end. Sorry, I just needed to crash out there. Okay, it says Rock's location. Why ain't these guys dying? And it says, Zebek, put me down. And it says, we've got no choice but to run. And it says, wait, Zebek. Some of the others caught up and transformed. Oh shit. It says, what happened? Is it an ability? And it says, Pops, Granny, what in the world? Oh, I wonder. Are they oh my god. Are they fucking his actual parents? Damn, Garling is cut up. And it says crack, and it's like him reforming. And it says he sure is strong. Takes quite a long while to regenerate from his sword slashes. Oh, that means he's using Conqueror's coding. Hell yeah. It says, but now we know why. Now we know he's also part of the Davy clan. Finishing him will please the Great One. And it says, indeed, the interruption to our tourney has turned out to be a blessing. It says, let me go, Zebek. And it says, are you gonna try to fight them off one-handed? And he says, don't you get it, Eris? If anyone bearing the Davy name is caught, they'll go through so much suffering, it'll make hell look tame. And she says, I know that. It says, I'm a full fledged part of the Davy clan now. Everyone here was always so nice to me, even though I was a pirate. Mmm. Mmm. Say what? And it says, I fully understand the fate our clan faces. Now put me down. And he says, hey. He says, if I was the kind of woman who just clung to you and couldn't protect a single child, you never would have fallen for me. And he's like, don't be an idiot. It looks like they're about to get me. I'll kill, teach, and commit suicide. Oh shit. Oh shit. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy work. If it looks like they're about to get me, I'll kill, teach, and commit suicide. Said we'll survive this by splitting up. Let's meet on Lelucia, Zebek. What is this name drop? No way. I wonder if she's originally from Lelucia. And she looks like Ginny, low key. And it says, Garling says, finally ditched your wife and kid, huh? Now then, what'll the next attack be? Why am I the one being saved here? And she like leaves behind him, and he goes and swings his sword. He's two-handing that bitch and fucking sick. Um, he two-hands it and just cuts a piece of the island. Um, and it says, "Afraid I can't let you go any further. Now bring it on, you monsters." Hmm. He doesn't show that he's doing any sort of like hockey or anything per se, but the way he's holding that is very interesting. It says Zebek, and you see Teach looking, and it says outside storeroom one. It says, "Ma ha ha ha, this'll do." A model of the fishy fruit. I'll feed it to Katakuri. My future crew's gonna be overwhelmingly powerful. No way. Yo, and Kaido just comes out of nowhere and fucking hits her mad hard. Wow. And she like is losing consciousness and she sees it. Oh, no way. Lonely Mage says, think it's something above typical Conqueror's coding. Hmm. That'd be interesting. She sees him just take a bite out of it midair, and Big Mom hits the ground, and she's like, huff, huff. And he starts eating it, and he's like, num, num, and grins. And she gets so mad, and she says, screw you, Kaido. Oh my God. Kaido yoinked the fruit. That's so funny, too. Because low key, the fact that he's grinning like a dickhole is so funny. He's just like, what a douche. And she gets mad pissed. Damn. Bro didn't even catch it. Bro legitly fucking just took a bite out of it midair, just chomped it. And then you see Dragon running with Shanks. And he says, I won't let you die. And then you see Eris saying, I won't let you die, Teach. It says behind the game stage. Prize storeroom 2. I found the treasure. Woo! And it says, I've never seen this much loot before. Whoa, there's a devil fruit too. Wait a minute. Where's the devil fruit? Oh, there's devil fruits too. And then all of a sudden someone comes out of nowhere and is like we'd let the Roger pirates get away with all this. And it says, drive the pirates off the island. And Garp says, nothing makes sense here, even justice. Oh, I might crash out again. Oh, I might crash out. Bro, go fuck yourself, Garp. And then all of a sudden there's a bunch of slaves saying, the world government's navy, please let us go. And they just get blasted. Like, come on. It says God Valley is not a member nation as such. My God. Dude, I'm trying not to crash out anymore because I felt like I crashed out pretty hard. And then we see, even if I only manage one more, I'm gonna save as many people as I can. And then it says dot dot dot. And then you hear Saturn, is Rox dead? And Saturn says, well, things have continued to unfold outside of our expectations. In fact, all this intense destruction, I believe, if it continues. Hmm. And all of a sudden, it's like, what is that? A dragon? We risk something else being unleashed. Oof. It says that must not be permitted. And then it says, thank you, Kumakun. And it says, no need to thank me. We have to hurry. And they say, anywhere but here would be heaven. And it says, I had given up on surviving this. Thank you. And he's just poofing everyone. It says, thank you. And he's just poofing everyone. And then it says, thank you. And then all of a sudden, the crazy, crazy wave of Conqueror's hockey comes out. And they all notice it. Roger, Garp, and Zebek. And all of a sudden, we see, oh shit, Saturn. It says, boss, it's Rocks and the others. And it says, hold on, this probably isn't the time for that. And then it says, how dare you go after my family? If you want me dead, I'll take you down first. And they're all just wrecked. And it says, damn it. And then it says, there's not much to gain here, you know? And it says, still gonna help? And he says, don't sweat it. I owe you since I'm always drinking on your tab. And says, hey, you two, check this out. Yeah. Kaido's so funny, dude. Kaido's so funny. Hey, you two, check this out. It's so funny, dude. And it says, I finally got an ability. And, and he's like, and that's great and all, but mind if I ask what the hell we're up against? And Zebek says, good on ya. At least someone's having a fun time. And then, oh my God, where Saturn is, it says, Saint Saturn, what is this transformation? Whoa, a monster. And then it says, maybe this is a dream after all. What's up with this island? And then all of a sudden, Roger says, it's been one adventurous twist after another today. And then Zebek says, what is it, you ask? If I it had to say, I'd say it's the world. And it says the face off. And there's a break next week. Damn it. Oh man, this fucking panel is so tough. The Kaido dragon, Whitebeard, and Zebek all standing there. Oh my god. Someday someone will appear carrying the history of all those decades on his back and challenge the world to a fight. Whitebeard. Very interesting. So interesting. Man. Also, Garling getting the absolute brakes beaten off of him and Zebek only looking like he's a little scuffed up, kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. That's pretty crazy. Because I think Garling should be pretty strong. And it looks like he's getting dick down. Like heavily, heavily piped down. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Wow, that was a hell of a chapter. That was a hell of a chapter. Whoever finds the one piece will turn the world upside down. Yo, there's so many instances of this, like talking about the world. Crazy. All mentions of the world are now recontextualized. Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, like that Whitebeard one. So one day someone will come and challenge and throw down the gauntlet to the world. Like, man, so crazy. All right, let's go through this. I'm gonna quick go and I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna give my rating and then I'm gonna quick head over to um TikTok Live if you want to follow me over there, and I'm going to talk to NYC Anime Nerd about this chapter. If you could please like the stream, it definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. Appreciate the support if you can. But yeah, let's go through this. All right. So we got chapter 1162 in the books. I like the fact that Yamato's pilgrimage is over, but there's something weird about it. I feel like we're missing something with this last page. Um, the whole Rayleigh taking Shaki away thing, super cool. Also makes me wonder if Rayleigh's gonna come back to the fight, or does he take Shaki onto the Oro Jackson and stay there to protect her? Like, interesting. I love Shiki. I love this moment where Rayleigh's like, "There's something I gotta tell you." She's like, "Don't say another word. I already know." Another thing is, I didn't see Gloriosa at all, which is interesting. Also, love Shiki. Always do. Oh, seeing the Big Mom thing again is interesting. Um, seeing Silver Axe kind of get put interesting. Um, just fucking Garp, man. Garp just been pissing me off, dude. This whole thing pissed me off about Garp. The fact that Zabek is handling these two gods knights and the Dami reverse seed, which makes me wonder, one, why the hell and how the hell were these people Dami reverse seed when Gunko is not in frame? And Gunko isn't even the one in this chapter that gets like emu'd. So very interesting there. So wondering about that. But the fact that he's one-handed as he's taking Eris down, the path is pretty crazy. And the fact that he's basically beating the living hell out of Darling and this other chick. I also love how Eris is strong female confidence, just like, yo, you wouldn't have fell in love with me if I wasn't that bitch. And then he basically is just like, now I can't let you move past this. And he does a crazy sword swing. Like the way he brings it up and then just like brings it up, two hands it, and then brings it down, like giving like a shock wave. and cutting the island, yeah, it truly makes me think that he has the Ope Ope no Mi. The way that he's able to use like a shockwave, it almost seems like when he brings it around, he like does the awakening and like coats his sword in like the chrome, and then just uses it to create a shockwave, which is pretty cool. Um, and because he like completely bisects the island, which is another thing that Law could do. Um, but it's not like oh, it's not like a clean bisection. But still, um, also like Teach seeing his dad is pretty crazy. Just like go crazy like this. Kaido smacking the shit out of Big Mom and taking the dragon fruit, so cool. And her being like, "Yo, Kaido, go fuck yourself." Like she got mad pissed about him taking that because originally we were gonna get Dragon Katakuri, which would have been tough, but so cool. Um, Dragon leaving, Eris leaving, both making sure that their babies survive. Um, the fact that the Roger pirates found devil fruits and on top of that, they found treasure. Very interesting. I want to know what devil fruits they found because it definitely does not elaborate. And also, this person being like, we'd let you, the Roger Pirates, get away with all this. One, it kind of looks like oven. And I know it's not, but the fact that he just like puts up his axe and just like blocks it real nonchalant is crazy work. And then the Marines coming here and Garp's fucking face and just being like, nothing makes sense here, even justice. No shit. No shit. The Marines just being so incredibly terrible, almost as if Oda really wants to hone in on the fact that Marines ain't shit, and then blowing up people who are like, save us. Crazy. And one thing that's really insane here, and I mean really insane, which makes me think that somehow the thing that was found on this island was maybe the Nika devil fruit, is because Emu's asking Saturn, is Rocks dead? And Saturn being like, well, things have continued to unfold outside of our expectations. In fact, all this intense destruction, I believe if it continues, we risk something else being unleashed. Which makes me think that it's either I feel like it would have to be the Nika Devil fruit or another sun god fruit, almost like the destroyer version or something like that. Like there's got to be something here. And the fact that Kaido turns into a dragon and like we get to see Kuma saving all these people and then we see all the conquerors hockey just explode and they all three, Garp, Roger, Rocks, all notice it. And they're like, boss, it's Rocks and the others. Hold on. This probably isn't for the time for that. Like, and then just Saturn's transformation and just, man, Zebek, when he two handed his sword finally, just completely destroyed Garling and all the other, like, Domi reversing people and everything. Like, and then this just panel is so tough. And I love Kaido just being like, Hey, you two, check this out. I'm a dragon. And this is so fucking funny to me. And this whole thing is crazy, especially Saturn. I don't know, basically turning into emu. And then it says, if it had to say, I'd say it's the world. So very interesting. And like just like I said, this panel's so tough. Whitebeard, Zebek, and Kaido, just crazy cool. So honestly, this chapter to me is like a 9.5, maybe even a 10, dude. This is so good. I love it. Um, like it's just so good. Like I can't even begin to say how awesome this chapter was for me. Like, oh man, it's just amazing. Amazing stuff. Um, yeah, just um I think it's so good. I think that a lot of people's stocks are gonna switch after this chapter to being like darling stocks might be taking a little bit of a dive, you know? What is interesting is you got these three, and on the other side, I mean, he just beat the brakes off of Garling. So once Garling's back up, which Emu being there might be like a supercharge to the regeneration, he could technically fight Whitebeard. So, and then the other chick or some of the Dami Reversi people could be fighting Kaido. Hmm. While Zebek fights Emu. Um, yeah, no, I mean, this is just so good. I love it. I love it. It is fantastic. Oh man. All right. Well, you know what? It's another one in the history books, you know? Mm. This is a phenomenal chapter. Phenomenal. Um I love it. And the recontextualizing alone is going to be crazy. So, it I'm ready, you know. I think that this is a fantastic chapter. I'm so sad we have a break week. And what's even crazier is, with my wife being pregnant and, it being a break week next week, that means that when we get our next chapter, I'm going to have a baby, you know? Um, so 1163 is going to be crazy. So we will have to wait and see what's going to happen. But damn, son. Um, but yeah, overall, I think this was a great chapter. This is a 9.5 out of 10. Like, so good. But I really got to sit and digest all this. I got to start looking stuff up. I got to start looking at things differently. Ah, I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy for real. Um, but as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Lonely Mage, Young Bull Trent, NYC, thank you guys so much for coming through. Um, like I said, I'm gonna take like a 5-10 minute break and then I'm gonna go live over on TikTok. talk to NYC for a little bit, and then I'm gonna be playing some Rivals because Daredevil came out today, and I want to get some stick time. So, as always, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for talking to me with this chapter because say it all the time. One Piece is better as a conversation, and even though I crashed out a little bit on Garp, it was a conversation I loved having with you guys, and I see that we're pretty much on the same page. Some people really are avid Marine defenders. I don't really get that, but whatever. Yeah, they can do what they want. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, no matter how wrong it is. Um, but thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you over on TikTok in 10 minutes, and um, just have a wonderful rest of your, hopefully long weekend. So, all right, you guys have a good one. Jana.